Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. The question on everyone's mind today is simple but terrifying. Is the Israel-Iran conflict about to get much worse? As tensions rise across the Middle East, military analysts, diplomats, and intelligence agencies all agree on one thing: the region is moving toward a dangerous tipping point. In this video, we'll explore how Israel and Iran reached this explosive moment, what's pushing both sides closer to confrontation, and whether a much larger war is now inevitable. To understand where things stand today, we need to look at the events of the past few years. For decades, Israel and Iran have been locked in a shadow war, a silent struggle fought through cyberattacks, assassinations, sabotage operations, and proxy battles across Syria, Iraq, and Lebanon. Both nations avoided direct war, preferring to attack each other from the shadows. But in recent months, that shadow war has begun creeping into the light. Israel has intensified its strikes on Iranian weapons depots and military convoys inside Syria. These strikes aim to stop Iran from supplying advanced missiles, drones, and precision weapons to Hezbollah, Iran's most powerful ally in Lebanon. Hezbollah has over 150 Zero rockets, many capable of reaching deep into Israel. Israel sees Iran's support for Hezbollah as an existential threat, especially as the group continues developing precision-guided missiles that could strike Israeli cities with high accuracy. Iran, meanwhile, has massively expanded its missile program, drone arsenal, and military presence across the region. Iranian-backed militias in Iraq and Syria have carried out dozens of attacks on U.S. bases, while Iranian drones have struck targets in Israel and international shipping lanes. Each attack, each response, each escalation pushes the region one step closer to a conflict neither side claims to want, but both sides continue preparing for. One of the clearest signs that the situation is worsening is the growing direct confrontation between Israel and Iran across the Middle East. Recently, Iran launched long-range drones and missiles at Israel, claiming retaliation for Israeli strikes on Iranian officers in Syria. Israel responded with a series of powerful airstrikes targeting Iranian Revolutionary Guard sites. These were not routine skirmishes, these were direct military exchanges between two powerful nations with global implications. Another major factor driving the conflict forward is Iran's nuclear program. As international negotiations collapsed and sanctions tightened, Iran accelerated its uranium enrichment, coming closer than ever to weapons-grade levels. Israel has repeatedly warned that it will not allow Iran to obtain nuclear weapons, stating that it will act alone if necessary. But striking Iran's nuclear sites is far more dangerous than attacking facilities in Iraq or Syria. Iran is larger, better defended, and deeply prepared for retaliation. If Israel attacks Iran's nuclear infrastructure, Iran would almost certainly respond with a massive missile barrage, drone strikes, and attacks from its regional allies. The result could be a full-scale regional war. Inside Israel, political turmoil and security pressure are also rising. The government faces mounting tension on multiple fronts: Gaza, the West Bank, Lebanon, and now direct threats from Iran. Some Israeli leaders argue that waiting only gives Iran more time to strengthen its missile and nuclear capabilities. Others warn that attacking Iran now could ignite a conflict that Israel cannot control. As political divisions deepen, military decisions become more unpredictable. At the same time, Iran faces its own internal and external pressures. Economic sanctions have crippled its economy. Protests continue to shake the streets, and regional rivals, especially Saudi Arabia and the UAE, are strengthening ties with the U.S. and Israel. Iran's leadership believes that projecting strength abroad is essential to maintaining stability at home. Showing weakness, they fear, could invite foreign aggression or internal unrest. This mindset pushes Iran to respond forcefully whenever Israel attacks its assets or officers, even if retaliation increases the risk of a larger war. The role of global powers is also crucial in determining whether the conflict grows worse. The United States, a close ally of Israel, continues to station troops across the Middle East. Iran-backed militias frequently target U.S. bases, drawing Washington deeper into the conflict. Russia, heavily involved in Syria, sometimes coordinates with Iran, and sometimes steps aside for Israeli airstrikes, depending on its own geopolitical interests. China, seeking influence in the region, attempts to mediate between Iran and Saudi Arabia, but avoids direct confrontation with the West. The involvement of these powers adds layers of complexity and danger to an already unstable situation. Another major flashpoint is Lebanon. Hezbollah, Iran's most powerful ally, has signaled that any major Israeli attack on Iran will trigger a devastating response from Lebanon. Hezbollah's arsenal of rockets and advanced missiles represents one of the greatest threats Israel has ever faced. Israeli defense officials warn that the next war with Hezbollah could result in thousands of rockets fired per day, overwhelming the Iron Dome system and causing widespread destruction. Iran sees Hezbollah as its first line of defense and its most powerful tool for deterring Israel. If war erupts between Israel and Iran, Lebanon will almost certainly become one of the central battlegrounds. Meanwhile, Iran has been rapidly improving its missile and drone technology. Today, Iranian missiles can reach nearly every point in Israel, and its drones have demonstrated impressive accuracy in conflicts across the Middle East. Israel, too, has strengthened its defenses, deploying new layers of missile shields such as Iron Dome, David's Sling, and Arrow 3. But even with advanced technology, no defense system is perfect. A large-scale missile exchange between Israel and Iran could overwhelm defenses on both sides, leading to heavy casualties and destruction. One of the most dangerous aspects of the current situation is how easily a small incident could escalate into a full-scale war. A single miscalculation, a drone mistaken for a missile, a strike hitting the wrong convoy, a communication failure between militaries could trigger rapid retaliation. In a region already on edge, sparks can ignite wildfires. So is the Israel-Iran conflict about to get much worse? Many signs suggest that the answer is yes. The shadow war is becoming increasingly open. Both nations are testing each other more aggressively. Both are preparing for larger conflict. Diplomatic channels are weaker than ever, and trust between regional powers is at an all-time low. The danger is not only that war could happen, but that it could happen suddenly, without warning, triggered by an event neither side intended to start a war over. However, there is still a chance to avoid disaster. Both Israel and Iran understand the catastrophic consequences of all-out war. Both know that a direct conflict could draw in the U.S., Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, and potentially even Russia. Such a war would reshape the Middle East for decades, cause unimaginable destruction, and risk spiraling into a much larger global confrontation. This understanding may be the only thing keeping the region from crossing the point of no return. In the coming months, the world will be watching closely. Small developments, a missile launch, a cyber attack, a strike in Syria, a nuclear announcement could determine whether the conflict continues in the shadows or erupts into something far more dangerous. One thing is certain, the risk of escalation is higher now than it has been in many years. And unless leaders on both sides find a way to de-escalate tensions, the Israel-Iran conflict is on a path that may soon become impossible to reverse. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.